Hi everyone, it's Jade from Career Journey Professional. Today I want to talk about how to prepare to look for your first job as a graduate, as I got asked a lot. There are many questions in this area. I will roughly divide it into 3 steps and then explain it to you. So the first step is, where do you get started? First step is actually, I call it knowing yourself and knowing the market. So what does knowing yourself actually means? Knowing yourself including seeing what's possible out there. What do you want to do? What did you study? What are you good at? What are you passionate about? What will you be interested in? What do you want to further explore? What do you want to further develop your skill sets on? What do you want to become in the future? As we all know that nowadays it's aging industry. Yes, you spend a lot of time studying, and you're probably studying abroad as well. Maybe you studied extra times for English as your second language, or maybe not. It seems really long, right? However, you're gonna work even longer. Suppose we retire at around 60 years old, and you graduate say 25. You still have about 35 or 40 years to work before you're retired. So it's even longer, or double the time that we're studying. It's one of the most precious time, or the most beautiful time that we human do things. So you must be really excited that you're gonna go enter a new phase of your life. But what do you want to do? Who do you want to become? It's a very big question. Actually, the best way to prepare for your first full-time job as you graduate, you should be starting that. Once you started your university, I guess you went through that thought, as in what to study, what subject should you choose. That could be relevant to your future, not necessarily, but that's kind of helping your future career. If not, at least start from penultimate year. The last year of your study back in university, especially in Australia, because getting internship, getting local experience is very important. So knowing yourself, that's the part, knowing what you want to do. So you may have a list of several areas that you want to do, several, we call it career position that you want to do, and knowing the market, knowing what's out there. It's actually very overwhelming and very confusing when I graduated. There's no textbook telling you what this industry is about, what are the good companies, what is every department doing, what should I choose, what role should I do. Even today, I'm working with a lot of clients in different industry. Sometimes the same role in different company can be called very different names, or they can be called similar names, but still different name. So I can understand how overwhelming and how confusing this is for someone who just graduated. The society cannot be the workplace cannot be really summarized in a textbook for you to study in a nutshell very quickly. So you need to do your own search. Well, having said that, a quick way to break it down, or I will just roughly touch on that today, is having that career position strategy that I mentioned before. It's what industry, what sort of company, what's your top companies, top 10 or top 20 companies that you really want to work in, what division within that company, what department, what sort of function within that company, and what entry level role you want to be, and possibly what's your future 5-year, 10-year ideal role from that point along, from that entry role on. That will give you a breakdown, some guidelines to follow. So starting with industry, doing your research, what are the ideal companies and what division and what role. That will give you a breakdown of what you want to do. And then the next step, the second step of looking for your first full-time job, it's getting that internship, getting that experience. If you're not working in internship, but getting that experience or getting that advice from people, ask around. Anything, and be open and be it doesn't have to be the industry you really want to work in, but it's just a process for you to understand what is it really like to be in the workforce on a daily basis in different industries. What's the difference? It could be really fun. Take it as a project for yourself, a research project. Ask, of course, starting within your family, people, what are they working, why do they choose what they do, what do they like about it? And then expanding forward into other areas you may or may not know. Utilize LinkedIn, it's a really good resources. So if you didn't have actual working experience yourself, getting advice, having career chat with people, it's one of the best ways to know more about what's out there and what's possible. And of course, there are more comprehensive and better ways to do it for individuals, such as the career assessments we take to take a more science-based and comprehensive view for you to choose all the industries and companies or roles that you may like. Alright, so if you know yourself, you know the market, you've done your research, and you have some actual experience, if not, you have some understanding of what's really out there, then what's next? You're going to prepare yourself and probably apply for jobs. Before that, I would just clarify some differences between, I guess you understand what's internship, and then differences between all the possible roles you may be facing as a graduate. So what could be out there? There could be graduate positions, there could be experience hire, there could be management trainee, there could be rotation. What do they really mean? Graduate position, as the name stands, those are companies ready to recruit people like you who doesn't really have much experience, working experience. Well, be aware that you may have learned a lot. I know you're very smart from university, but that doesn't mean that you can apply the knowledge right away into a daily job. To be honest, a lot of the times what you studied, more than 70% of it, you probably wouldn't even use it, apart from specific industries. But a lot of the things you learned in university is not necessarily applicable in a job right away. So company has to train you, they have to equip you, they have to spend extra time, human resources and money as well to train you, to teach you what this industry is about, what's the process they go through, how do they serve their client, and how you will become a good employee to actually serve the company. So graduate position is companies who are willing to invest such things to train you as a newcomer from a university. So that's the basic normal graduate position. And then there comes experience hire. Experience hire normally means company don't have the time or energy or resources to train you, so they can only recruit people who are experienced, people who know how to do it, and maybe they need some training about how the company runs, but they pretty much know how to do basic or similar roles, like for accountant, maybe accounts payable, accounts receivable, they know what to do. So experience hire probably wouldn't fall into the category that you will be looking for as a graduate, but just put it out there, what does it really mean? And then it comes to management trainee. What does management trainee mean? It's still a kind of graduate position. However, you are selected to be trained. So in the future, for this company, you will directly become a sort of a manager, being able to handle some management tasks when you finish that graduate training program. So in a way, it's more like an escalated process as a graduate to go into a big company and then becoming a management role fast-tracked. So it's really good. And what sort of a management training is included? Of course, the company process, they will provide on-job training, and they will probably have rotation or non-rotation in different positions or department, which is what I mentioned earlier. What does that mean? You will basically, within management training program normally can last 1 to 3 years. So you could be working in different departments and having a taste of what every company is actually doing on a daily basis. What are the challenges they face? How do they negotiate? How do they liaise or work with other departments or with other parties or with clients? And then once you have understanding, have a taste of that, and by the time you finish your management training program, you'll be able to choose or having a more comprehensive understanding of that company to better work and serve that company. So you can see companies really investing a lot for you to become a management trainee, and that's why they have a higher criteria of selection with students. And if you can get into a management training and that's what you want, that's perfect. So if you want that, get ready earlier. And that brings me on to the next point, how to get ready. I will actually give you a breakdown of what, and the time as well, what you need to bring, what you need to prepare. First of all, of course,